Real estate economist in Orange County, California, just published his 2023 housing prediction. With that being said, we're going to dive into 4 things that came up in his report that will be beneficial to home buyers, sellers, and realtors in Orange County. First, let me explain to you why I trust his data. Okay, so this report, it's called the Orange County Housing Report. It's published by Stephen Thomas. He has a degree in economics. His report has been shared on the Orange County Register, Wall Street Journal, all sorts of major publications. He has about, I think, somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 real estate subscribers in Orange County, California. So people like me who actually pay monthly for his report. And where he gets the data from, it's directly from the local Orange County multiple listing service. He also has a report in Los Angeles, San Diego, San Bernardino, so he sees some very well-rounded data here in Orange County, California. And the reason I like his report so much is because it's local. Number 2, he's not a real estate agent. He's not out there buying and selling homes, so he's not invested in where prices go. Number 3, he's been doing it for so long that I've gotten to see a lot of his predictions. Now, all economists are going to have predictions that don't end up coming to fruition. But for the most part, I would say about 80 to 90% of what he shares, it comes to fruition to a T. And so that's why I trust his report, because I've lived, seen, and experienced the last 14 years looking at his report, comparing it to the market. It's been very accurate. So what are the 4 things that he talked about that can benefit home buyers and home sellers coming into 2023? Number 1 is housing inventory. His prediction is that housing inventory is going to remain low in 2023. Okay, so just to give a perspective, the long-term average in Orange County, California is 7,000 to 8,000 homes for sale at any given time. We're entering the year with around less than 3,000 homes for sale in Orange County, California. So with that being said, housing inventory is really low. That is why housing prices are not crashing right now, because the job market is still strong. Inflation is still strong, and people don't need to sell, which is causing there to not be any foreclosures. Foreclosures came in 2008 when the market crashed and people needed to sell. We are not seeing any signs of that at all. The foreclosure, the people in delinquency on their mortgage is like 0.00001% right now for the entire country. Now, you might open up YouTube or Instagram or TikTok and you might see videos saying otherwise, which is great. There may be some kind of market crash or maybe some kind of panic sell, but the data indicates that it's nowhere near a crash. It's just a typical market slowdown. The second thing we're seeing is buyer demand. Buyer demand is going to continue to drop and be low this year. What he's predicting is that housing prices will go down between 6 and 8%, okay? Between 6 and 8%. Exactly how he arrived at the math of 6 to 8%, but I can tell you right now, being in the trenches in the real estate market right now, we are seeing prices go down. They're not crashing, no data indicating a crash, but they're definitely dropping. They're going down, and why is that? It's because of the high interest rates. The Fed came in and basically raised interest rates to tame inflation. And so what we're actually seeing is that raise in interest rates is causing buyers to be much more cautious, to slow down in their making decisions, and we're just seeing an overall price dip. A really good time for home buyers right now. I've been selling real estate for almost 14 years, and the last 2 years, the market has been on fire. If you wanted to buy a home, you needed to pay way above the listing price, waive all your contingencies, pay any gap in appraisal, and you dealt with a lot of competition, and that just makes for not as great of a home buying experience. A lot of my clients were blessed. We were able to get their offer accepted on the first or second try, but many clients from other realtors that I saw, they were going 8 or 9 different properties. They were writing against multiple offers, and it was very discouraging. So in this market, you can expect to be, maybe only one other offer, or maybe you're the only offer on the property, which is really good. Prices are starting to go down. You should get a reasonable deal, but you're not going to get something 10% under market value. You're not going to get something 20% under market value. That's dreaming. You're going to get something that's selling less than the last comp in the neighborhood, maybe 1 to 3% less than that last comparable sale. The third thing we're going to take a look at is interest rates. What Stephen Thomas is predicting. Now, this is influenced by so many factors. So when it comes to predictions about interest rates, I hold those very lightly. I do not take those to heart. But his prediction is that rates are going to fall down to, they're right now around 6.5%. They're going to fall to about 5.5% at some point middle or later in the year. Why is that? Because they raised rates to tame inflation. We're already starting to see inflation is coming down slowly. As it continues to come down, they're going to balance it out by lowering interest rates again. So 5.5% is a great interest rate on a home. The average for the last 30 years is 6.7%. I've had properties where I had a 3.25. I've had clients get properties for less than 3 interest rates. That's great, but that's like once in a lifetime, probably never going to happen again. So 5.5% is a great interest rate. That will cause the market to stay stable and will likely prevent prices from dropping when rates go back down to 5.5%. Those are actually 3 things we're going to be looking at today. 4th thing we're going to be looking at is the distressed inventory. So they're not expecting a wave of foreclosures. There was this big talk in 2020, 2021 when people were allowed to go into forbearance, and there was this talk of a wave of foreclosures coming. Every guy who had an Instagram channel, every so-called guru on TikTok or YouTube was saying there's this wave of foreclosures coming. I got to admit, as a realtor, I was a little bit scared for a period of time. I'm like, man, what if a wave of foreclosures does come? That's going to really sink the market. That's going to suck for a lot of my clients. And then I started to dig into the data. The data indicates that the people who were in forbearance. Now, here's an interesting statistic. 1 in 3 homes in California is completely paid off. No foreclosures on paid off homes. Sorry, not going to happen. As opposed to 2007, when the recession hit, probably about maybe 5 or 10% of homes were paid off. So we've got a lot of people with strong equity. We've got a lot of people who've paid off their homes. And lastly, of the people who are in forbearance, 91% of them, I believe, are caught back up on their mortgage payment. So yes, we might see a few foreclosures here and there, but we're not going to see a wave of foreclosures. And actually, the market went up so high in the last 2 years, it's normal and cyclical for things to kind of slow down and pause for a little bit. Can't sustain 20-30% growth a year. Nobody would be able to afford a home. So this is a normal market cycle. And the last thing you need to know is that the best time if you're thinking of selling is going to be between January 15th and March 15th. Why is that? Because that's when pending sales are going to be the highest in the year. That's when they're going to have the biggest increase. Right around April, and June, they will start to come down a little bit. Pending sales will start to kind of soften up, and you're just not going to see as many buyers out there in the market, okay? If you're looking to buy, the best time to buy a home is probably going to be somewhere between, I would say, February, March, and all the way up until summer, because that's when demand will kind of soften a little bit. There should be a lot of inventory on the market. We have a very stable and cyclical market here in Orange County, so it tends to have the most amount of inventory right around June, July, and August. So that's a great time to be a home buyer. All right, I hope this video was helpful to you. Comment below with any predictions you have, any questions you have, and thank you so much for watching this video.